Hey guys, welcome back to Python for computational biology. In this lecture, we're actually going to get back into Python. So you've been toiling away, if you've been following the lecture series, you've been toiling away at Linux and command line, shell, etc., bash, all these different names for different aspects of the same thing. But we're going to get into Python now. So we've got our preliminary data. We're going to kind of cover a few refreshers, I guess is the best word for it. And then we'll get into building up towards some analyses. So with that, let's go ahead and get to work. All right. So, all right, first things first, we can open a notebook. And remember, if you want to save this, I'm going to click OK and do it. If you're doing this on Praxis and you want to save it, desktop, classroom, my files, then click on a Python 3 notebook. It's kind of the easiest way to save your work. So I'm going to make a little note here. So first thing, any Python interpreter can be used as a calculator. And I'm going to say 3 plus 5 times 4. And then I'm going to hit play to run that chunk, and you see we get 23. So awesome. Not particularly useful when you have calculators in your phone now and everything like that. But what makes Python powerful, kind of like R, is you can save things to variables, right? So what we're going to do is let's save a value to a variable. So we can say weight kg equals 60. So if you run this, that is now saved. So if we say print weight kg, we have saved that to a variable, right? So there are some rules with Python. So there wasn't really a ton of rules with R for variable names. So one thing is that we'll make some notes. Weight 0 equals valid. 0 weight equals invalid. So no variables can start with a number. They can have a number in them, but they have to start with a character before that. So you can't start any of these save variables as a number first, then name. Weight and weight are different. So that just shows that case sensitivity is important. So you could have lowercase weight and uppercase weight, and that those are different things. Okay. Let's do, I'm sorry if I'm sniffling throughout this, the allergies are killing me. Types of data. So we're going to say there are 3 common types of data, and that is integer numbers, floating point numbers, strings. Strings. There we go. All right. What is each of these things? So I'm just going to run this to get to the next chunk. A integer number is like we have here, weight kilogram, where it's just no decimals, just an integer, right? A floating point number is if we were to do something like weight kg equals 60.3. So that would be a floating point integer. And then a string is not a number, even though it can have numbers in it. So that can be confusing. So for an example, we could do patient name, and we could say John Smith, and that would be a string. But we could also do patient ID, and we could do 001, and that would also be a string, where it's not, we don't treat it as a number, we treat it as letters. So we treat it as symbols, right? So something that you can't do calculations with. Even though they are numbers in our brain and represented physically, well, digitally, I guess, but represented as numbers, they're treated as a string, as something that's not calculatable. Okay, so we can, we can annotate this. String comprised of numbers. We probably should have done this along the way. String comprised of letters. And we can do floating point number. Okay. Because we're going to save this one. Remember, this is a code that we're going to save. So, let's now use variables in Python. So Python allows us to use variables kind of in the place of numbers, right? So if we do weight LB, is that what we did above? Well, we did weight kilogram. So we have weight kilogram. Did we run this? Let's run this real quick. So we have weight saved as 60.3. So if we do weight LB equals 2.2 times weight kg, so this is a new variable, weight LB. If we do it times weight kilogram, that should give us whatever our weight kilogram is, 60.3 times 2.2 to give us our weight LB, right? And then if we do print weight LB, it should give us the conversion of kilograms to pounds. Okay, let's try. I don't know what that was about. Is this going to? No, we are offline right now, so I'm going to hopefully save this. Saving started. All right, well, I guess we'll continue typing and hope that we reconnect. Okay, so let's do that. We'll put that print back. Weight LB. And the other thing that you can do is you could add, oh, I think it's saved now. So I think, let's try running this. No? You could add to your strings as well. So let's add a prefix to our patient ID. So we have our patient ID, right? And we can add inflam and patient ID. So you're taking patient ID and you're just adding inflam to the beginning of it. So remember our patient ID we had is 001. So if we run this, then just do patient ID. Let's see if this works. No kernel. Oh, so that's our problem. So we want to do Python 3. So that was why it wasn't running, is because it didn't know what language we're trying to run stuff in. So there we go. So if we do our conversions of weight, 2.2 times weight kilograms, we get our conversion. And then if we take for our patient ID is 001, right? And then if we want to append to it, we can do this, take our patient ID, add inflam and patient ID together to the beginning of it. And then, we gotta do print here. Print patient ID. Oh, I hope I, oh yeah, see, this could be a problem. So I'm gonna rerun this one real quick. This is what it should have turned out. It's like this, inflam 001. So this is the new patient ID, right? So if I run this, every time I run this over and over again, it's just gonna add another inflam to the beginning. Because this is a poor way of doing it. Yeah, so you see inflam. But it's just an example. So I'm gonna run this again, and run this. There we go. All right. And we're back to normal. Okay, let's keep going. So, I've kind of jumped around my notes here. We've done the printing. You can combine our print statements, right? So we could do something like this. Let's combine print statements. So we could do like print patient ID, weight in kilograms, which this is a string that we're printing there. That's why it's read like that. And then weight kg. And so if we run this, what did I, that shouldn't be there like that. Let's try it again. There we go. Inflam 1, weight in kilograms, 60.3. All right, so we can also call a function inside another function call. So you can do we can use the type. We can call a function inside another function. So we could do something like print type 60.3. So you see that we have a function type inside another function print, or we could do print type patient ID. So if we run both of these, you see that we get class float for the first one, which is right because it's a decimal, and then class string for the second one because it's letters. Perfect. We can also do calculations inside the print function. So we could do something like this: print weight in LBS, or you can put pounds, I guess. There we go. Weight in pounds, and then we'll do a comma, and we'll say 2.2 times weight underscore kilogram. And that should say our weight in pounds is 132.66. So, but to know what you'll notice though is the nice thing, since we didn't resave the variable, if we print weight kilogram now, you'll see that it didn't save over it. right? So before we, if we would say weight kilogram equals 2.2 times blah, 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 it didn't save over any variables. We just used it and then printed. So if we did want to save over it, so you see we have 60.3 as our weight in kilograms. We could do weight kg equals 65.0, and then print weight in kilograms. It is now weight kg. So this would save over it, right? So we're saying this is the new weight kilogram. So previously it was 60.3, and now we're saying, all right, right over it to make it 65. If we run that, weight in kilograms is now 65. Beautiful. And that's it. That's our refresher. That's what we're going to do today for our refresher. Let's actually go back. All right, so what I want you to do here now is save your work, right? So file, save notebook as, and then you should be in your My Files thing, and then just save this one. This could be Python fundamentals save, okay? Because I've had people have issues, and you should see over on the left-hand side here, which is behind my screen. You can't really see it. It should say Python fundamentals as a saved file. Okay, now let's go back to SkyCam. All right, so that's the end of Python fundamentals. Just a refresher. We kind of did some of this stuff to begin with when we did the introduction to the notebooks, but it's just a refresher to get back into the Python stuff. So that is it for this video. We'll continue with our analysis, our inflammation data throughout this course, this entire course. But if you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. It really helps me out. Like. Students of mine, like. And I'll catch you in the next one.